All right. Well, first of all, I want to welcome everyone here. I'm totally honored that you did show up to this meeting, or gathering, as I call it. And it's a gathering of like minds. And the next every week we have the gathering at this time, unless it's otherwise announced, and at 7 p.m. My time, which is uh, Boulder time, Boulder, Colorado, and beautiful here. Uh, I think around 300 days a week we have sunshine, as they say. That's what the cliche is here. And so this gathering is for anyone with questions, and then pertaining to spirituality or healing or intuition, and I'll be glad to answer them. More than happy, the best that I can, and pertaining for the moment. And then every other week we have the healing circle. We're starting to get a lot of people in that, even more than this, which is pretty cool. But the gathering is for the questions pertaining to the healing, spirituality, and the intuition. And I'll do everything I can to try to answer, whatever you throw out there at me. And with the circle, it's just strictly, working with healing, and if there's time, questions as well. And I'll work with as many people as I can during that hour. So we have a workshop coming up, and it's called Manifest Your Life. It'll be talking and working with, and experiential with manifestation. It's on the website, and it's also announced on Facebook, etc. So please do take advantage of that if you have the opportunity. It's really dynamic, and people have told me that thanks a lot. I appreciate you putting everything up there, Lynn. Lynn's my hub. She keeps everything going, even if she's in Canada, with the snowstorms and everything else, and doing her clothes in the well outside and breaking the ice. And there's the Manifest workshop. Good, good, good. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. Hey, Mariko, she's in Japan. This is awesome. Yes, it is a rebirth, Mariko. Rebirth of the spirit, to me too. And it's the spirit of what I refer to as God. And so we have it within us, and it's awakened within us at this time of year. Reawakened, I should say. And we're always evolving and always growing. And the spirit knows what to do, to make us more conscious of that. So thank you for putting that up. I appreciate that. Easter was very calm for me, and I like it like that. So don't forget the Manifest Your Life workshop. You can sign up now on the workshop, on the website. And if you need help with the financial aspect of it all, Lynn knows what to do. Even if she is in Canada, she still knows what to do, and to help someone with the finances of that, financing of it. It's a great workshop. It's Monday the 19th all the way through for 4 days. So it's an hour and a half each day. Well worth it, totally. And let's see, there's no charge for this, and there's no charge for the healing circle each week. Every other week. And for this, there's no charge each week. And Lynn's email address, if you want to participate in the workshop, is listed there on the sidebar. So please do contact her, and please do sign up. I know that you'll enjoy it, and you'll get something out of it. Very experiential work. And let's see. Anyone is interested in appointments, please, contact me. Again, if you're in financial straits, oh, Lynn's putting everything up there. This is awesome. And contact me if you're in financial straits, and we'll work something out for the appointment. I don't want to not work with you. Anyone who's attracted to spiritual healing or feels that they can benefit from it or something can come of it for them in their life or want to try it out, any of the above, it's real. It's very, very real. And people are affected, not only biologically, but neurologically. If you have chronic situations, aches or pains, whether diagnosed or not, if you have disease, most often people find that they can function, whether the disease leaves or is arrested, and as the term is. So, or I might be able to see something which will lead you into something else. And I've even had people who are going into surgical procedures, and doctors say, I've never seen the skin or tissue cooperate like this before. It's like a miracle for them. Or I've had people tell me that right before surgeries or right after going to the doctor, something's disappeared. So these things are possible. It's all within what I refer to as God. And it doesn't care what you call it, whether it be source, excuse me, creator, nameless one, the mind, whatever. It's all very real. And there you go. The personal appointment thing here. Yeah, thanks, Lynn. That's awesome. Now, in May, I believe it's the 6th, Thursday, May 6th. I'll be having a healing circle at Gold Canyon in Arizona. And then on Friday the 7th and Saturday the 8th, I'll be doing appointments. I know most of the appointments are filled on Friday. I still have, I think, one left. And there's many appointments, or a few appointments, I should say, left on Saturday, the 8th. So do take advantage of that if you're in Arizona or you're traveling to Arizona at that time from somewhere else. And it's all available to you. And I have another healing circle at Chaparral Park. My contact is, and the hub of the whole operation is Sue Cavas. And her email address is the number one healing@gmail.com. Lynn put it up there. And she, so for the appointments, if you're interested, or directions to Chaparral Park, if you're interested, contact Sue. And through her email listed above here, where Lynn put it up. And I do have some appointments left, even though it's not even the 7th, or it's the 7th. So next month, they will be filled. I know that. So let me see here. Is there anything else? I don't think so. If anyone wants to, after this or before this or during this, if you want to give a support, or I don't call it donation, just a giving, please, thanks a lot, Lynn. I appreciate it. Just, go to my website, and you can either do it monthly or you can do it one time. It doesn't matter. I bit off more than I could chew, and I was trying to help 2 families and 2 individuals, and I just can't do that anymore. And what I do in helping people is I'll buy them either groceries or get them some sandwiches, or I'll get them, there it is, Lynn put it up, or I just hand them money, whatever's, conducive for the moment. And So what I've done, because I couldn't handle the intensity of it all, and it can turn into a full-time job just about, I've broken it down into just two people, and that's the best that I can do. So I'm working with two people in that capacity of giving them something, the food or the sandwiches um, or money. So let me see here. Please, for tonight, please feel free to post your questions or understandings on spirituality, and I'll elaborate on it, or I'll talk about it and try to answer your questions on healing, spirituality, or intuition. And that's what this is for. And I'll do everything I can, drawing it from my heart, to give to you. I won't work with the emotional here, so please understand that. Um, and that's very private, and I only do that in personal appointments. All right, I really don't know of anything else, to talk about. So let me see here if there's any questions I can try to answer. I know Lynn put one up. From Michelle Halverson. Okay, my dear friend, question from Michelle. Hi, Mark. About a month ago, I noticed a number of healers who serve large populations. Awesome. Especially online. That's fantastic. We're all having health issues. Shingles, teeth, need to be extracted, kidney stones, and other facial growth the size of a doorknob. I too came down with shingles, which I got a shot for years back. The worst case ever. Okay, so any comment to say why now? Thanks for all you do, Michelle in Arizona. Well, I think that if we notice something's happening, generally it's because that's where your mind is at, and that's what the mind is going to attract. And so we're going to see more of it. It's just like don't think of the pink elephant, and all of a sudden we're thinking of pink elephant. Or don't even or excuse me, I take that back. All of a sudden I'm noticing the number 3 everywhere, or 219 everywhere. That's because your mind's attracted to it, and you're going to get the attraction of the actual physical of that. Whatever you're focused on is going to show up more and more and more. Or number 222 or 555 or whatever people get into. But then you'll begin to, if you should focus on another number or another phrase, all of a sudden it'll be coming up in your life. And I was just thinking of that. Well, I think that a lot of what we're perceiving is attraction. And I think that's the law of cause and effect. So going along with that, that's why a lot of people, and especially if someone mentions it, it's going to be like an impression implanted in them, and they're going to have the attraction of it. Just my impressions, the world according to Garth Mark. Whenever I catch myself doing something of a similar nature, I immediately stop it. And then I won't notice those numbers anymore or those phrases anymore, and I'll find something else. And I purposely tried it, and I have an obsessive compulsive behavior pattern, so I can easily go into those kinds of things. And but then when I stop it, it's gone. Then something else will come in, and I'll have the availability to focus on that too. A lot, we're human. For the other part of your question, we're human, and our bodies begin to deteriorate at the time of birth, from the very start with our first breath, which is an oxidation, and it's almost like rust. And the more you expose it to the atmosphere, eventually it's going to break down, break down, break down. It's the same with our bodies. With our first breath, we begin to deteriorate. first breath at the time of birth. So, um, we don't have perfect bodies. God didn't make them, but God did make, in what I refer to as God, and I always use that expression, or the Nameless One or something like that, Creator, whatever, or he or she. And what I realized a long time ago is that the best way I can express this is that we have bodies, minds, and spirits. We can screw up, and we can deteriorate in our bodies and our minds, but we can, accept healings for them and work with them and make them better for time, or whatever. But we can't screw up the spirit. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm going to heal you in body, mind, and spirit." You can't heal the spirit. The spirit is already perfect, and that's the only perfect body that we have. And it's given to us, and it shares with us, and it's up to us if we want to participate in its consciousness. So it is available to us, and we can draw upon it, but our bodies still deteriorate over time, and that's why we have cavities no matter what we eat, or we have all kinds of things. We're exposed to atmospheric conditions, and it affects our bodies, or we're exposed to corporate foods. It keeps on going. Tainted water supplies, everything contributes to that, even thinking. And as we think destructive thoughts in our life, even though we may not realize that we are, that affects the body as well. And it affects other people's bodies as well, and the mind as well. So things happen, we can notice things all at once, and that's going to happen too. And we're going to see with lots of people. I remember many times when I was doing physical healing circles up until last year, that one week it would be all backs, and another week it would be all shoulders. And, whatever's in the mind, or whatever's attracted, it's going to come. So, in any case, I hope that almost answers your question there, Michelle. This is great. Okay, I'm going to check off some more here. And let me see here. Please, any questions I can try to answer. That's what this is for. And then at the end, or right before the end, I'll work with some people if you request it. So please, any questions whatsoever, I can try to answer pertaining to spirituality, pertaining to healing, pertaining to situations, pertaining to intuition. Please let me know. That's what this is for. Please ask your questions. I'd love to try to answer them, and I'll answer them from my heart. Hey, Shirley, good to see you here. Thanks for being here. Oh my gosh. Hi, Mark. I'm listening to your healing CD, and I'm having trouble visualizing the energy you are talking about, the red and golden. Is that something that just takes practice? I'll give you an exercise, Shirley, and anyone can do this as well. And this will really help. It'll help with the focus. It'll help with your concentration. It's very simply just sitting there with your eyes closed, and be sure to be sitting with your feet on the ground. Now, you don't have to go into a lotus position or anything else. And try to get in a really quieted area. And when you're in that area in your mind, and no noises or confusions around you, you can have all this thinking come to you. And just, recognize the thinking. Don't tell it to get out. Just recognize it and say, hey, look, I see you. Wait over there. I'll be right back. And then it'll be gone for a moment or two. But while it's gone in those moments or two, do a focus and picture a bucket above your head filled with a color. And you can start off with the color red and imagine the bucket pouring over your head, tilting and pouring over your head, and it's going to saturate into your bones, into your skull, into your head, into your blood. It's going to saturate into just uh, your vessels, capillaries. It's going to saturate you completely. And imagine that for as long as you can. But don't, beat yourself up if you can't hold it for long. Then imagine another bucket up above your head, and it's being tilted and poured, and it'll be, say, an orange color. And go through, after you've experienced this as much as you can, then at the end of it all, and it doesn't matter how long you keep it, but the more you practice it, the longer you'll be able to keep those colors within you. And once you saturate yourself, go to the next color automatically. And that will enable you to begin to see the various colors. And you'll be able to see the reds and the golds and stuff like that. So just a suggestion there. And that's a great exercise that you might want to do. It's very, very effective, and it'll help your ability to focus so much greater. And hey, Kathy, good to see you here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yes, can we connect directly with God for healing? Yes. And that's exactly, what I believe that I am doing. It's an automatic. And so I love the question. We don't have to go through other sources. And when we go through other sources or do exercises to be able to do it, we're derailing ourselves. We're putting our attention in something else. I always have, since day one, I've always gone to God. And I say, okay, boss, what are you going to do about this? Or, this is not correct in a person. Can you help? And as long as I'm taking myself out of the situation and my focus is on that divinity, that godliness, the creator, the nameless one, whatever you want to call it, the source, as long as I'm putting my attention on that, then I know I'm observing it doing it. And that's all that matters to me. And I know that it's a most effective and a most more immediate healing that happens. So that's what I do. And a lot of everything else that I do is show and tell, basically. But that's my source. And I allow it to do it. And I say, okay, boss, take over. Then I become, in that process, I become really quiet and without knowing how it's going to do it, because I don't want to figure it out or analyze it, critique it, or think what's happening. I want it to share with me of what's happening with the other person. And sometimes I won't even see or hear anything or know anything within myself of what's happening. And I'll say, hey, show me. And the voice will say, none of your business, just keep working. And I allow that divinity to move through me. And whether it be touching someone physically or through the radio waves, the internet, or whatever. And so I hope that answers your question to some degree. Great question. I love that question. Thank you so much. And but one more note about that is the more you practice it in your life, the stronger the ability becomes within you. And that's why I always tout I'm better than most people at it, because I practiced it for all these years. And I just have learned to trust, which is knowing and accepting. I've learned that. And it took me time. I was shown that at first, and then I had to work at it. So that's my answer. And I hope that was sufficient for you, Kathy. All right, Mariko, she wrote, so we attract what we are focusing on? Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, always, always. And we may not see it immediately. We may see it. Oh, I was just thinking about that because we attracted that into our minds. And the mind it sets it up for us to be attracted to that. I am attracting many Canadian friends. Hey, same principle, same principle. And if you enjoy it, keep attracting them. Nothing incorrect about that. And see what happens from that. Nothing incorrect. We can attract whatever we want. God does not care. God just wants us to utilize it and to participate in it. And that's what matters. That's what God cares about. And that's like a communion that we're developing. The more we give life to something, the more there's a participation in it. And it's being set up for us, either immediately or as we go along in life. We'll see it manifest in front of us, like with the friendships, etc. So, all right. And I hope that answers your question. Michelle couldn't be here tonight, but you get your answers in the replay. Oh, fantastic. And there will be a replay on this. I'll post this on Facebook on my Spiritual Healing with Mark Ehrlich's page that you'll be able to replay it. So please feel free to replay and put in hashtag replay Mark Ehrlich's or hashtag Mark Ehrlich's, no spaces, and or hashtag Spiritual Healing with Mark Ehrlich's or something like that. Google Analytics loves it. And so thanks for sharing that, Lynn. And Angie, hey Angie, love that. Yes, it's so true with all those things. So true in my perception. Again, the world according to Garth Mark, and it's what I live by in my life. And I'm not perfect by any means, so I have to, remind myself at times. And sure, you're welcome, Shirley. Hey, Christina, good to see you here. Thanks for being here. Give my love to your hubby there. And at yesterday's circle, you mentioned to someone, if you should experience feeling down or depressed, it's purposely there to help you to be empty. Yeah, I feel that, to answer the first part, that we're given experiences and we're given highs in life, and we go through them in life. And, after we have this great high of everything going right or something, being perfect, or we have an experience of something, whatever it should be, then all of a sudden, sometime sooner or later after that, we crash and we become depressed, or we become downed, or nothing is happening, and we don't see any activity anymore or something. And I think those downtimes, I call them downtimes, they're handed to us on a golden platter. And the purpose of those downtimes is to assimilate what we just went through, where we're in that high time of life. And it processes in us. If we become quiet and wonder about it, then it processes within us. If we wonder about it, and as we're wondering, ideas or understandings will come to us if we get into the practice of that. And so it's up to us to catch ourselves before the downtime or during the downtime. Say, wait. I don't know why I'm getting down or depressed or sad or whatever. Maybe this time is made for me to assimilate what I just went through. It's almost like a bell curve where we go up and up and up and everything's going great, then all of a sudden we crash. Well, the true bell curve that we have the potential to go through is like this. It's real smooth and very little hill in there, and it's available to us. And so what we're doing is setting ourselves up for a smoothness, a fluidity in life, that things aren't so horrible after that high time that we have to crash and in order to simulate. But the idea is to catch ourselves when we are crashing or right before, and wonder about what we just went through and how it affected our life and how we might have changed. Don't come up with any answers. Let it come to you. If we're coming up with answers, then we're critiquing, analyzing, trying to figure it out, or thinking. And and that just promotes the crash, and we forget what we're doing, and we go into another topic, and we continue being down. So then it's purposefully there to help you to be empty. Yes, and the emptiness is the wondering about it. And when we're wondering, we are giving ourselves an opportunity to perceive of information coming forth from us, from what people call the self. And that's where I come from. And so, and I try to go there as I remember it in my life as well. And that's the receptacle of God in coming to you. Yes, be conscious of it. And I just elaborated on that. Yeah, thank you so much, Christina. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And Kathy Wozniak wrote, can one's level of consciousness recreate what is healed? Oh my God, yes. And I've worked with so many people, and in some of those people, I'll give you a real brief story. There was one person a few years ago, the first story that comes to mind. There was one person a few years ago that came to me, and she says, I have this body ache, and this is happening in me, and that's happening in me, all these distresses and injuries, and they keep, coming back, whatever. And so I worked with her, and she left feeling really good. And then she called me up a week later, and she said, can I have another appointment with you? I said, yeah, sure. And so she came for the appointment time and day, and she said, I looked at her, and I knew something was off. But I looked at her, and I said, I'm working with these things that you're telling me about now. I've already worked with them, and you said you felt so much better in your life. She says, I know, but I had a whole bunch of therapists lined up. Not that therapists are bad, but I got re-injured. And so, and a lot of the aches and pains and distresses, came back. And so I said, okay, if you can, please hold off for a week or two. Because she had to go to the therapist because it was a prescription, and she didn't want to be called a non-compliant patient from the doctor. And so she held off for a week or two before going back to her therapist again, and it was much, much better, the situations in her body. So, things like this happen, and it's also in the mind. There's people that I've worked with. There was one crippled lady who had a spinal injury at a very young age. It was in Chicago, and there was a class that she attended, and everyone in the class is waiting for me. It was a healing class, and everyone in the class is waiting for me to work with this one woman who didn't have the ability to walk from that injury. And so I guess it was the second day of the class. The first thing, everyone's sitting there, and I called on the woman, and I said, tell me about your injury. And then I said, do you want to walk again? And she hadn't been able to walk maybe about 20 or 30 years because of the spinal injury. She wasn't capable of standing. And so I said, give me your hand. And she did. And I said, stand up. And she looked at me, and everyone in the room was just silent. You can hear a pin drop in it. And so she actually put both her arms on the arms of her wheelchair, And she stood up, and her sister was there, and her sister goes, "Oh," like that. And then she looked at her sister, and she looked at everyone else and started thinking, and she yelled, "No!" And she went back down, was never able to get up again. But I also heard within me she's going to lose her compensations. She's going to lose her sister helping her for every little detail in her life, and other things as well. And so a lot of people are afraid to give up something, and for those reasons and for sundry of reasons. So that's my answer to that, and I hope that answers your question, Kathy. I truly hope so. And Christine wrote here, yes, I understand we incorporate more wisdom into our understanding so we don't need to go so high or so low. Yes, yes, yes. But, we have to take it within our heart and have it come forth from our heart in recognition of that we do grow, that we are growing. And situations may not be the same as we think they are. There's always more to the story, as I say. And then I wonder to myself, what more to the story is there? And see if something comes to me or is shown to me without me saying anything out loud or whatever. So, and then she wrote, more balanced and meshed with God. Yes, thank you. It's wonderful. Oh, good, good, good. Ah, fantastic. Please, any other questions or comments, please, before we go on here? All right. What I'd like to do, if there's no more, is to work with a couple of people. We have about 10 minutes or 12 minutes. And if there's someone here who would like me to work with them, I'd be more than happy to. But it has to be one physical thing, not saying my whole body is going through this and that part's going through that and this going through that, and nothing emotional. So please, share with me if there's anything that I can work with physiologically or biologically or neurologically. One thing, and let me know. Please write it down. I don't know what to say here. You got a bunch of people, so someone tell me something and let me know. I don't know what to talk about. When I work with healing, I go within myself and I say, okay, boss, what are you going to do about this situation? And then, I pretty much leave it to the old man or woman upstairs. They say, okay, boss, take over. And I talk to that divinity in that way. And it responds. And it's just a pattern that I've developed in my life. And I've learned from day one that it works. And I trust it with all my heart. Kathy wrote, acid reflux. I don't know if this applies to you. But I understand, and I've read a lot and heard from friends even that do, it may not work with everyone, but I understand it works with a lot of people that have had acid reflux and other digestive things happening in their body, that if you take right before each meal 1 or 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar within a week, maybe one day, maybe several days, that their situation dissolves and it's corrected. And I don't know if it applies to you or whatever, but I don't diagnose, I don't prescribe, and I don't tell anyone they're healed. Okay, it's from a sliding hiatus. Okay, all right, there you go. That's something different then. And so I'd like to work with that. I'd like to work with that. There you go. Let's see what happens with that. And please do let me know, Kathy. And I pray that you do feel better from this. Um, it's important for me to know, though. And my friend Ray, he wrote 14-day post-op prostate surgery. And please, Ray, can you share with me as soon as you can if on how you're doing with that, if there's any complications, or which I don't think there are, but you'll tell me, and if you're doing okay with it. And there is going to be like a tenderness in that area, obviously, and it's going to be the muscles are going to be a little weakened, but it's a beautiful healing in my perception. You know, my perception. So be patient. Don't lift anything. Heavy over 4 ounces. No, I'm kidding. Kidding, Ray. And so, keep me updated, Ray. I really appreciate that. I personally think that you're doing fantastic. My impression. Um, and Sue wrote, "Why do I end a session by blowing on the top of the person's head? Why do I end a session?" Um, I don't know why you personally do it. I know it's a ritualistic act. It's something that I've done in the past, but the purpose of that I've done it personally, this is my own reason and reasoning. It was something from a long time ago uh, that we inherited, and it's almost like a seal of sealing it. And other reasons that I've done it, it was for the purpose of eliminating something, say like something that's in the morphic field coming out of the person's thinking, or the residue that's no longer needed there. And it's an old practice that can or cannot apply. I haven't done it in years, but I used to do it. This is great, Ray, and I'm glad. And you're healing beautifully. Just listen to your doctors. They knew what to tell you. Awesome. Uh, the rubber chicken. The rubber chicken has a name. It's called Pachelbel, and it's always watching over me, as you can tell. It's on my shoulder, this shoulder. Yeah. It's backwards on the screen here, so that's why I went. In any case, the rubber chicken is Pachelbel, and I love it. No significant problems. I love it, Ray. And let's see, and let me know how you're doing, Kathy. Please keep me updated in potential future. And if anyone's interested in a full appointment with me, let me know. Some people are satisfied in the appointments with 30 minutes or even less. Some people 15 minutes. They get all that they need, and they tell me. Or it can last up to an hour, depending upon the person. And I work with them very extensively. And and if I should perceive something, I'll share it with you. And if I don't, it's none of my business, so I don't get anything. And but I am available for appointments, either through the telephone or Zoom or FaceTime. whatever's convenient for you. And no one's written anything else. Anyone else like me to work with them with anything in particular that's bugging you in your life? We still have a few minutes. So please, I don't want to cut this short. So please share with me if there's something I can work with that's physiological, biological, neurological, skeletal, whatever. And I will do my best. Um, Please share with me. All right. Okay, Kathy. Would you like me to ask a blessing on you for this? I would be more than happy to, Kathy. Um, and I will. I hear it all around me, and many people may experience like a chirping sound or a high pitched noise when I'm working with someone, but I hear it all around me. And that noise is what I refer to as spirit. And so it's sending its juice out. So that's my take on it. Muscles tighten feet. Okay, Ray. It's funny because um, I sometimes will see, or often, or sometimes, various forms of angelics that are working with the person when I'm working with them, and they don't have wings and flying and flitting around, and sometimes they're not what we call real pretty, and just all different forms and sizes and all like that, in different realms of different things, and whatever a person needs, they're there. And so I did work with your feet, but you need to walk. Very important, and that'll help your body and help you redevelop the musculature in your feet and realign the bones in there as well. I did work with you, Ray, and if you keep me updated, I'd appreciate that. And and I did ask for a blessing on you, Kathy. Um, so there. Um, and Lynn, I would love a blessing to have more energy. I'm tired of being tired all day. I hear you. I hear you. A lot of people are going through that, and there's just a lot of energetic of dynamic that's happening in the atmosphere in the world, and it's reflective, and there's a lot of energetic coming through uh, that does have purpose, and it's affecting people. It's like an evolution in some sense. The world's changing always, and right now it seems to be going through a greater change energetically, and for all different reasons. And the mind of mankind, man, woman, is growing. It's evolving, and so the excess energy uh, that we're experiencing kind of wears us out. And I take advantage of it, and I take a nap, It might be for 5 minutes, might be for 2 minutes, and it might be for 15 minutes. I don't know. I try to take a nap, when I experience that. It's not always I get to. So I will ask a blessing on you, though, that your body will be more adaptable to that. Not only more adaptable, but more at peace with that for your body. There you go, Lynn. Christina, feeling a twinge of my left shoulder blade. Oh my God. Call a priest. No, I'm kidding. I am a priest. So let me work with your left shoulder blade. Your left is my right. Okay. There we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And Stephanie's here. Yay! Hi. Hi, Mark. Everything's blooming here. Allergies, please. All right. All right. Let me work with your skull area. All right, Steph. I hope that gives you great ease. And all right. So please, if anyone's interested in a full appointment, let me know. If you experience something happening from what we've done, let me know. If you have any questions for next week, write them out on the Facebook page and or email them to me or Lynn. And I really want to thank everyone for being here. So don't forget about the appointments. Don't forget about the Phoenix appointments as well in Scottsdale area and Gold Canyon. And put in there what Lynn just put out, hashtag Mark Ehrlichs or hashtag spiritual healer or whatever else is there. And you can copy and paste it as a response in the comment bar. And the workshop, and we have the workshop coming up next Monday on manifesting your life. It's going to be a dynamic workshop. Please do take advantage of that. My pleasure, Stephanie and Dee. And God bless everyone here. Thank you so, so much. You have a good evening too. And thank you so much, Nini. And I'll talk to you later. Have fun, everyone. That's what your life is for, having fun. Enjoy. Bye-bye.